All right, so we kind of already talked about this. Factoring trinomials is going to be different from binomials because instead of just looking at the front term and the back term, there's also a term in the middle. So are y'all cool if I start out with an example like we kind of did yesterday so that y'all can just see where we're going to go today? And then we'll write out some steps and then we'll just do lots of examples. Like I have 10 examples. Does that sound good? Okay, let's do it. So we're going to start off with an example just so y'all can kind of see what we're going to get to today. All right, so x squared plus 4x plus 3. Do we agree it's a trinomial? Yes, fantastic. What do you think the first thing we're going to check for is?
GCF.
Yes, GCF. Good. You always check for greatest common factor first. Now, does this trinomial have a GCF? No. So here's what's going to be different. And I already heard it in class, which is good, so we can differentiate. Yesterday, you would look to see if they were perfect squares, right? Okay. This is not a binomial. They don't have to be perfect squares. So here's what you're going to do different today. You're still going to look at factors of x squared. So what are the two factors of x squared? X and x. Good. And then you're still going to look at the number in the back, but it's not going to be a perfect square most of the time. Sometimes it is, sometimes, most of the time it's not. So what are your factors of 3? 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Good. You only have one option, 1 and 3. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. Some of you did see this in Math 1, I know, because I know who some of y'all had for Math 1. Do y'all see how this 3 was positive?
Mm-hmm.
So that means we want the two factors that will add to give us what's in the middle. What number is in the middle? 4. So y'all look at this. If you add 1 and 3, does it make 4 in the middle? So watch, this is how you set it up. Very similar to yesterday. Where do you think I'm going to put my x's? Good, Jaden. Hey, Green. Thank you. Put your x's in the front. Where do you think the 1 and the 3 will go? In the back. And we're adding. So let's see if y'all remember this from middle school. When you're adding, that means your signs are the same. Good. And we want it to be positive. So that means both of my signs should be positive. That's all we're doing today. So y'all can't see their faces. 2 of my boys in class just looked at me and were like this. How can we check this and make sure these are the two factors that'll multiply to give me that? What can I do? Foil it back out. Good. So if you did foil this, I grabbed a highlighter instead of a marker. If you did foil, I want y'all to watch. What's x times x?
X squared.
X squared. What is x times 3?
3x.
3x.
X. Now do the inside. What's 1 times x?
1x.
So if you add those, you get 4x in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what's 1 times 3 on the end?
3.
Right. So these are the two factors. Were we making that face because we didn't think it was that hard? That's good. I'm grinning under my mask because it can get a lot more challenging. What if I gave you a number like 64 in the back? 64 has lots of factors, in case you didn't know. 8 times 8, 1 times 64, 2 times 32, 4 times 16. So then when you are given more sets, you got to figure out which one will add or subtract to get in the middle. Does that make sense? That's all we're doing today. Okay? All right, so we're going to write out steps. I'm going to get corny for y'all just because I feel like kids remember corny stuff better than me just writing out steps. So listen up. What is something you could eat for lunch that has 3 parts?
Sandwich.
A sandwich. Do you remember this? You're like, no, I don't remember half the corny stuff you taught me. A sandwich. When you make a sandwich, what do you start with?
Bread.
Thank you. Every year I have some kid talk about some meat. And I'm like, you do not slap your turkey down on the counter. You start with, no, that's nasty, especially with COVID. Don't be putting your food on the counter. You start with bread. Then you put whatever you want on the inside, right? And then you put it together. So that's kind of what we're going to do when we work with trinomials. We're going to start with the ends and try to put it together to make the middle, okay? So I call this sandwich method. I don't care what you call it. You don't have to call it sandwich method if you don't want to. But for those of you that like corny stuff, if you want to write down sandwich, then that's fine with me. If you don't want to do that because you're like, my teacher is crazy, then that's fine too. Okay, what are we always going to check for first? Yes, good. So first step is to check for and take out a GCF if there is one. If you do not take the GCF out at the beginning, you are not going to get the correct factors. I need y'all to remember that because this is where y'all will start messing up with not doing it. Everybody good? Okay. Then what did we do second? Looked at factors of what two terms?
Ends.
The first and the last, the ends. Good. So you're going to find factors of your first and last term. All right. So step 3 can go two ways. It depends what sign you have on that back number. If the back number is positive, like we had up here in this example, what did we do to find the middle?
Add.
Good. What do you think we'll do if the back number is negative?
Subtract.
Subtract to get the middle. Very good. Does that make sense? Okay, so step 3, you're going to figure out which set of factors will, and this is where you have two options. It's either A or B. Add if back term is positive. Or Carter said we'll subtract if the back term is negative. To equal the middle term. And I'm gonna give y'all a second. I know that was kind of fast. Some of y'all write real fast. I'm jealous. I write slow. So we're gonna figure out which set of factors we'll add if the back term is positive or subtract if the back term is negative to make the middle. Okay? Now, what do you think step 4 is? What was the last thing we did yesterday after we put the factors in? Oh no, I told you you should always know if these are right or wrong because you can do what with each of them? Check them by doing what? FOIL. So with these, with trinomials, I need y'all to check. If you are not checking, you might mess up because you might put the numbers in the wrong spot, okay? So we're gonna check using FOIL or a box. Either one doesn't matter to me. That's your only notes for today. I've got 10 examples. That seems like a lot, but some of them go by really fast, okay? Are there any questions on the actual steps? All right. Are y'all ready to just try some? So how about I'll do, I'll do like 3 and then I'll give y'all one to try and then we'll keep going from there. Does that sound good? Okay. All right, now what, honey? Example 1. Let's do. So I gave you a trinomial x squared plus 11x plus 28. And I want you to factor it completely. Let's see, some of y'all already doing it. Okay, that's good. I'm glad y'all think it's easy. Let's just make sure we're all on the same page. Find factors of the first and last term. So what are my factors of x squared?
X and
X.
X and x, so that's easy, right? How do you think I can make it harder? Because I'm gonna do that in a minute. Yay, yes, good, Chris. Okay, put a number. What if this said 6x squared? Then you could have 6x and x, or you could have 3x and 2x. So it's going to get harder in a little bit, okay? We're going to start off easy, though. X and x, what are my factors of 28? 7 and 4, what else? 2 and 14? Yeah, you're good. And then don't forget about 1 and 28. Okay? Now, Carter said 7 and 4 first. So somebody that's at home, why do you think he said 7 and 4 first?
because 7 is
You can add them.
yeah.
If you add them, you get 11.
Yes, y'all are so smart. Look at your back term. It's positive, so we need to add to make 11, right? When we're adding, we know our signs will be the same. And then I want y'all to look at the 11. It's positive. So can y'all tell me what the 2 factors will be? Tell me the whole factors. What am I going to write in each parenthesis? There we go. X plus 7 times x plus 4. So this should be our answer. How do you check it? Foil or
Box.
box? I feel like y'all thought that was really easy. Yeah, Sean's like, yes. Good, my girls, y'all are okay? If you foil or box it out, you do get 11x in the middle and you get 28 on the end. So this one does work, okay? All right, I'm gonna make it harder because that seemed too easy. Like I said, I'll do maybe 2 more and then I'm gonna give y'all a couple to try, okay? All right, let's do. K squared minus K minus 42. Y'all can't see. Move it right here. All right, is there a GCF? I completely forgot to ask y'all that last time. No, good. So what do? Factors of the first and last, good. So factors of K squared is just K times K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Factors of 42. Good. 21 times 2. What's another one? Yes, 7 and 6. You said 1 and 42? Good. I think there's one more. There is one more. 13 times 4. Y'all gotta know your multiplication. Wait, no, that's right. No, it's not. I did it backwards. 14 times 3. I'm sorry. There you go. That's 42. Chris was like, that ain't right, Miss Poole. You were looking at me like, something ain't right. 14 times 3, good. Did you guys learn, I'm gonna pause for just a second. Did y'all learn how to find like factors quickly? There's a trick for 3s to see if it's divisible by 3. I bet y'all didn't learn this. That's fine. I'm gonna show you real quick because you need to know how to do this mess when you get to pre-cal. All right, is 21 divisible by 3? Why?
Yes. Going by 7.
Okay, it goes in 7 times. Great. Let me show you a trick. What's 2 plus 1?
3.
3 divisible by 3? So that works. So what I just did with 42, I knew it was divisible by 3 because what's 4 plus 2? And 6 is divisible
6.
by 3, right? Yeah, and 6 is divisible by 3. There's also the hand trick with your 9s. Did we learn that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Did anybody not learn it before I waste time showing? Okay, so look at my hand. I got 10 fingers, right? I'm gonna put the first one down. I'm doing it backwards so it matches you. So if you do 9 times 1, you get 9. If you do 9 times 2, you get 110 and 8 ones. So 18. 9 times 3 is 27. Did you learn this? 9 times 4, 36. 9 times 5, 45. Okay, there's tricks. With 4s, if it ends in, I'm thinking, there's a pattern. So it goes, if it ends in 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, it'll be divisible by 4. So 4 is divisible by 4, 8 is divisible by 4, 12 is divisible by 4, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60. You get what I'm doing? There's lots of different patterns to figure out factors. I'm sad y'all have never seen that, but that's okay. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So I was like, oh, okay, that's divisible by 3, 14 times 3. All right, so which set do I want to use?
7 and 6.
Why? Jaden, good job. Why, babe?
Because if you subtract both of them, you get 1.
If you subtract 7 and 6, if there's no number in the middle, it's an understood what? 1. If you do 7 minus 6, do you get 1 in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about it before y'all mess up the signs, because this is where y'all will mess up. If we are subtracting, what kind of sign should I have in my factors? Different signs, a positive and a negative. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the K's first, because I see some of y'all looking at me like, what the heck? Y'all just told me one needs to be positive and one needs to be negative, right? I'll move this up so y'all can see. And I'm also not going to use this color anymore. I realize that that's not a good choice. So where do I need to place the 7 and 6 to get a negative one? Which one should be negative and which one should be positive? Good. 6 should be positive. 7 should be negative. Good job, Evan. Those are your two factors, K plus 6 and K minus 7. Now, this is why I told you it's so important to check. I bet a bunch of y'all on the test on Friday, I'm calling it now, are going to flip the signs. You're going to have it backwards. If you are checking yourself with box or foil, you're going to catch that mistake and you'll be able to fix it. If you're not checking yourself, you're not going to catch the mistake. So if we foil this back out, we do end up getting negative 7K plus 6K, which is negative 1K. Are y'all okay? That's a lot of K's. Are we sure? All right, I'm gonna do one more. Oh my God, that was terrible. This is why I went into retirement, Connor. Would you have made it? Probably. Jordan made his last week. We had a competition. I wouldn't do that with Connor because I feel like if I lost, he'd talk trash for about a week. All right, example 3. 2, let's do A's. I'm feeling a different letter. Plus 4A cubed minus 96A. This is the last one I'm doing for now, and I'm going to give y'all 1 or 2 to try, and then we'll add on, okay? What do you check for first? Oh, I didn't mean to put. I'm so sorry. Squared. The ADHD is real. Thank you, Evan. That was a great question. We're not combining. What should I check for first? Yes. If you don't take out the GCF here, you're going to get the wrong answer. Did everybody hear me say that? And it is wrong. Don't be, well, mine works too. It's not completely factored. When you are factoring, you're trying to find the 2 factors closest together to make the polynomial. So you got to take out the GCF. What is my GCF here? 2 what? There we go. Good job. 2A can come out of all 3 of these terms. That's why on Friday and Monday, I was like, y'all got to know how to do a GCF, okay? So when I take out 2A, what are we left with on the inside? Good. A squared plus 2A 40. You're close. It is 40 something.
43.
48. 48. It's okay. Remember, 8 and 8 will make 16, so you got to carry the 1. 48. Good. Now, this is the part that's different. We took out the GCF. That's great. Anytime you take out a GCF, I did not teach you this on Friday because all we were doing was GCF. Anytime you take out a GCF, you look at what's left inside to see if you can break it down further. So yesterday we looked for perfect squares because we were doing binomials. Today, you're going to look at what's left inside. It should be a trinomial because I told you we're doing trinomials today. So you need to look at factors of the first and last and see if you can break it down farther. So I feel like helping y'all out a little bit to make it a little easier. Do you need to list every single factor every single time? No, start looking at what you're doing. I need to subtract to make what in the middle? 2. So what 2 factors of 48 can I subtract to make 2?
6 and 8.
Yes, 8 and 6. Very good. Or 6 and 8. The order doesn't matter. Remember, when you're multiplying, order does not matter, okay? What matters is the signs, where you guys have the signs. So does everybody agree? I have a 2A on the outside. Don't forget that. That's the GCF. And then the inside is going to break up into 2 more factors. So what's going to go in the front of each parenthesis? A. What's going to go in the back? 8 and 6. If you have it reversed, that's totally fine. But here's the part that's important. Your signs. Connor, are you with me, babe? We're subtracting. So what kind of sign should I have? A negative and a positive. Yeah. Different signs. Which one needs to be positive if we want a positive 2? 8. And 6 would be negative. How do we feel? Y'all feel okay? Can I give y'all 1 to try just to make sure before I add on? Okay. gonna pause the recording right after I write this down. I'm gonna give y'all maybe 2.5 minutes. I don't really think y'all need more time than that. You guys try this one. Thank goodness, because I was going to be mad if somebody forgot to do that. So you need to take out the GCF. Y'all took out a 3, and what I saw was x squared minus 5x plus 6, right? Okay, you guys also saw the 6 was positive. I'm just going off of what I saw y'all doing. So if the 6 is positive, what 2 factors of 6 add to give you 5?
3 and 2.
3 and 2. I agree. I really like what Chris just said, though. This is where y'all messed up. What kind of 5 are you trying to get in the middle?
A negative.
So what should the 3 and the 2 be? Negative. That's where y'all will mess up, is you won't pay attention to that sign in the middle, okay? You're adding, so the signs have to be the same. But since I want a negative in the middle, they should both be negative. So did you guys get 3 on the outside and then x minus 3 times x minus 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So y'all are ready for me to step it up then? Don't look like that. Jordan was like, Jaden, what you think, babe? I think he's ready. I know Henry's ready to step it up too. Jake is going to watch this later, Henry, and be like, dang it, Henry.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, example 5. These are my fave. 2x squared minus 1x plus 2. Peter, and you looked at me like, why? You looked at me just then like, why? Why are you doing this? Like I told y'all, this is probably one of the most important topics you'll learn in this class. We're going to use it in like the next 3 units. And you need it for Math 3 and for pre-cal. When I get kids in pre-cal that can't do this, I get pissed. To not sugarcoat it. What's different about this one? There's a number out front, and can we take it out? Can we take out a GCF? Nope, because 2 doesn't go into 11. So this right here, this is where y'all's middle school teachers don't teach it the right way. They teach y'all some cutesy way. I'm not even sure how they came up with it or why they think it works. I don't know. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing. So factors of the first and the last. What are factors of 2x squared? What times what gives you 2x squared? 2 times 1 and x. So that would be 2x and 1x. Do y'all agree? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set that part up. We know it's going to be 2x times x because we don't have any other options. Those are the only things you can multiply to get 2x squared. Now, what are my factors of 12? 1 and 12. What else? 3 and 4. What else? Okay, this is my recommendation. List them all out when you have a number out front. Because you're not going to be able to tell, like we were with the other ones, off the bat, which pair it's going to be. So this is where my job comes in, and I start to teach y'all some tricks. All right? Some of y'all like tricks. 70% of the time, I know that's not like a fantastic percentage, but we're going to roll with it. About 70% of the time, the pair that you want is the pair that's closest together. So which of those numbers are closest together? 3 and 4. So what we need to do is see if we can put 3 and 4 in these parentheses, FOIL it out, and end up with a negative 11 in the middle. You're not going to be able to tell right away because there's this pesky 2 sitting out front. Does everybody see that? Okay. So, again, this is why I want you checking. because somebody's going to do this. I just know it. Don't write this. Don't write it. Did I put them in the right spot? How do y'all know? Not okay, so good. Be careful. It's not just 4 and 3 anymore. What's 2x times 3? 6x. What's 4 times x? What's 6 and 4 make? 10. What are we trying to make? 11. So before you go, okay, it ain't 4 and 3, switch them around, see if it'll work. So I'm going to put the 3 here and the 4 here on the end. So make sure you're watching, because this is where it gets tricky. What's 2x times 4? 8x. What's 3 times x? 3x. Do 8x and 3x make 11x? Yes. So now I just need y'all to tell me what kind of signs I need. They'll both be negative. How'd y'all know that? Very good. Somebody tell me. The 11 is negative and the 12 is. So you're adding, the signs have to be the same, and we want them to be negative. Do we see how this can get dicey if you are not checking your answers? Don't you do that. I guarantee somebody would have put the 4 and the 3 and just left it, and that's wrong. I can't give you credit. So what is the trick I taught y'all to check what first? The 2 that are closest together. Vita, you want me to write that down, babe? You're my visual person. Yeah, let's write it down. Okay, so a trick for these. A trick when you have a number out front, AKA a leading coefficient. Y'all remember that's called the leading coefficient, right? Yoo-hoo, yes or no? Leading coefficient? Okay, fantastic. When you have a leading coefficient, I told you to check what factors first. One more time, say it again. Oh boy. The 2 that are closest together, thank you, Chris. Check the 2 factors that are closest together. Together, make sure I spell that right first. That is the most important thing to do with these. When there's a leading coefficient, check the 2 factors that are closest together first. How often did I say it'll be those? About 70% of the time. So if you got 10 problems, that should work for about 7 of them. Now, worst case scenario, what if the 4 and the 3 didn't work? What would y'all check next? 6 and 2, and then I'd go to 12 and 1. It's usually not 12 and 1 if there's a number out front. I said usually. Sometimes it will be. So we're just going to do more examples of this, and when I start reading y'all's faces a little better, then I'll give you one. But right now, y'all look scared. I'm great at reading faces. You don't look scared. Your face kind of stays the same. I haven't figured you quite out yet. Give me one more day. I'll have you figured out. I should go work for a mob. So I can also tell when people are lying. I'd be a great addition. All right, example 6. Let's do another one. Let's do 6x squared minus 19x. Let's make that a positive 19x just because. Plus 10. We're just going to keep doing some more of these. Now, my online people, remember, y'all agreed you were going to tell me as soon as you got confused today. Same thing with my in-class people. All right, what's even different about this one? Yeah, the middle term is positive. Good. What else? I see something else different. All right, let me help y'all out because y'all are being quiet. Can you take out a GCF? No. 19 is prime. Nothing goes into that. So I'm going to make sure we're all with me. Let me see your eyeballs because some of y'all starting to work and you don't know what you're doing yet, I don't think. 6x squared can break down into what? Good. Okay, 6x and x, but then also 3x and 2x. Which pair should you try first? 3 and 2 because they're closer together. Very good. And then what about 10? 5 and 2, and what else, Sean? Good job, 1 and 10. So which pair of those are you going to try first? 5 and 2. So I want everybody to watch. We're going to try 3x times 2x, and then I need you to place the 5 and the 2 in there so that it'll work to add to get 19. So I'm going to let y'all try that. I'm going to pause the recording. Place the 5 and the 2 in so that when you FOIL it back out, it'll make 19. All right. Where did you guys place the 5 and the 2 so that you made it work? Because it does work with 5 and 2. Where'd you put them? Good. Okay, so everybody look. Try it this way first. So I want you guys to watch. You put the 2 with the 3x and the 5 with the 2x. So FOIL. The first terms, we already know that makes 6x squared, right? So that's why I've been skipping that. Some of y'all have been looking at me weird because I'm not doing all of the FOILing. You'll need to do the first one. Y'all already told me 3x and 2x make 6x squared. Let me see y'all's eyeballs so I know you're with me. There's one set, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, that makes 6x squared. And then we also already know 2 and 5 makes 10, so I don't need to check the last either. What you need to check is the outside and the inside. So 3x times 5, do y'all agree that's 15x? What about 2 times 2x? What does that make? 4. Does 15 plus 4 make 19? Yes. So now let's look at our signs so we make sure we put the right signs. We're adding to make a positive. So both of my signs should be positive. So this is your answer right here. 3x plus 2 times 2x plus 5. How many more do y'all think you need? We obviously got to do one more because I ain't done one where the closer together ones don't work. So maybe 2. Let's do 2 more. I've got plenty of time still. Y'all have 20 minutes before lunch. Online people, are y'all okay?
Yes.
All right. All right, example 7. And if y'all seem good after 7, I'll give y'all one to try. Let's go ahead and do a doozy. Because this one low-key sucks. 14x minus 8. All right. I told you it sucks. So that should tell you we're going to have some work ahead of us. Connor, don't go night-night. All right, 9x squared plus 14x minus 8. What factors do y'all want to try first? Yoo-hoo! What do we want to try first? Okay, 4 and 2 for the 8. I agree, because those are closer together. The other option is going to be 8 and 1. What about for the 9x squared?
3.
Yeah, let's try 3x times 3x. What if that doesn't work with any of these, though? Then what do we need to go to? Yeah, 9x and 1. So listen, I'm going to write it off to the side, the order you should try it in. I recommend you write all these down. Did everybody hear me? Okay. I recommend, and I would definitely take my recommendation because I've done about probably 10,000 of these in my lifetime. I would recommend trying the 4 and the 2 first because they are closer together with the 3 and the 3, right? If, I'm saying if, I'm not going to tell you which set works. If this does not work, what should you go to next?
The 8 and the 2.
Yeah,
I mean 8 and 1.
yes. Keep the 3 X's because that's the hardest thing to switch. You switch what's in the front at the end. So try 8 and 1 next. You don't need to switch the order because there's 3 X's in front of each one. So it's going to be the same. If that doesn't work, then what should you try? 9X and X. And what would you want to try next? Go back to the 4 and 2. And then you can switch these around if you need to. And then if that doesn't work, what are you going to try? 9X and X and 8 and 1. Do you see how this can get dicey? You don't have to do it often, but 30% of the time you're going to have to use not the close together ones. So I want y'all to try those. I'm going to pause. See if you guys can find the combination that will end up adding 14 in the middle. So if you missed my last comment, the 3 X's don't work at all. So the next pair you should try is 9X and X and 4 and 2. And I actually set it up for you where it works. So everybody look at how I have it set up right here. I'm actually going to come write it down here. So 9X and 4 and X and 2. Everybody watch. This is what y'all have to remember. I think a bunch of you were adding. What kind of 8 did we have in the back? A negative, which means we want to subtract to get 14. So y'all look at how we have it set up. 9X times 2 is what? 18X. What's 18 minus 4, L'Oreal? 14. I set it up for you. You got to look at this back number. It was negative, so you're subtracting to make the middle. Don't forget that step, okay? So if I want a positive 14, what should be negative? The 18 or the 4? Good, Keedrine. The 4 is negative. The 18 should be positive. Remember, you're subtracting, so the sign should be different. If we did not get it right, do we see what we did wrong? Yes or no? Y'all got to talk to me. Okay. It's better to make mistakes in math than it is not to. When you get every single problem right in math all the time, you're never going to learn from any mistakes. Just like at basketball, you learn more mistakes from missing a free throw than you do from making one. Right? My boys are like, I don't know. Y'all don't miss your free throws. Coach Duck used to make us run till we barfed if we missed them. That was a hard lesson to learn. Do y'all want one more to try, or do we feel like we're okay? I feel like we need another one. Sean says no. Okay, so I'm going to cut y'all a deal then. If you feel fine, you can start your assignment. If you think you need one more, I'm going to do one more up here, and you can watch with me, okay, and do it with me. That's going to be up to you. I'm going to let y'all do you. We're going to do this one if you're staying with me. 10x squared plus 31x. I should have done one that's not adding, but it's okay because y'all struggled on that subtraction just then. I got like half of you still with me. Online people, are y'all going to stay for this last one?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, what factors should we try first? First of all, there's no GCF. You better check for that first, okay? But there isn't one because 31 is prime. So what should we try first? Everybody who's still with me.
5 and 2.
Oh, good. 5 and 2, 5x and 2x. I agree. And then what about on the end?
6 and 4.
6 and 4. So Henry, what if 6 and 4 doesn't work? What should we try next?
12 and 2.
Be careful, you're missing one. 2
Oh,
plus
8
4
and 3.
is
8 and 3.
Yeah, so it's divisible by 3, 8 and 3. So let's try the 5x, 2x, and the 6 and 4 first. And if that doesn't work, we'll go to 8 and 3. Then if that doesn't work, we'll go to 12 and 2. Okay? But I really think one of those is going to work because it can't be as hard as number 7. Number 7 is as hard as it gets. So let's try it. 5x and 2x. That should show y'all I'm confident because I'm writing in pen. What do we want to try first? Y'all said 6 and 4, right? So I'm going to give y'all a second, more like a minute, and y'all tell me if 6 and 4 works. So 6 and 4 don't work. If you try 8 and 3, let's just put them here first. Look at your back number. We're trying to add to get 31, right? Everybody sees that? So the way I have it set up, will it add to give me 31? Okay, good. Connor and Carter say yes. 5x times 3 is 15x. 8 times 2 is 16. What's 15 plus 16? 31. So that works, and it needs to be what kind of 31? A 31x, but what kind?
Positive.
Positive. So these should both be
Positive.
Positive.